Ladies and gentlemen, Moonshine TJ, greetings. You know what time it is? It's showtime. And boy, oh boy, do we got to get into this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Triple H. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's me, Zeus. Sometimes it gotta be this way.
Sometimes it has to be this way. Good morning, Angela. Let's go.
If you're not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. If you're not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
Let's go.
I'ma have to cut you off. 1, 2, 3,
Good
4, 5, 6,
morning.
7. I can't play these games no more. What you looking at me for? I just want the money, yo. All these games that you be playing, all this talk that you be saying, I don't.
We got receipts.
Get this money every way. Gotta keep my mental clear. Yeah, you know I'm out of here. I don't really have no fear. Yeah, you keep on showing tears. I'm not with that back and forth. I'm the type to get to work. I'm the type to keep it real. I'm the type to get a deal. I'm the type to chase a bag. I'm the type to pop a tag. Sick like I have SARS. Ride around in fast cars. Rapping like my line bars. I do this all
For my dogs. I do it all for my
When you
dogs.
gonna be the boss? If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
Let's
If
go.
you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. This is what it be like when I'm stunting on my enemies. This is what it be like when I make them feel my energy. Sitting on these racks, okay. You know what this really means. This is what it's all about. I'm on top of everything. I'm the boss, don't play with me. This right here is a game to me. Toxic, 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 toxic. No, that's not okay with me. Every day you say you scared. Every day I'm making bread. Every day you say you good. Every day I wish you would. This is what it be like when you really own it. This is what it be like when you really try to run up. Rookie of the year, better go and break the record. Rookie of the year, better go and get a checkup. Yeah. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
Yeah. Oh, they don't like it now, ladies and gentlemen. They don't like it. They don't like it when you tell the truth. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'd rather be realer than you. You know, life is just so good this week. I must admit, we've been getting off to, I would say, quite an interesting start as it relates to the activities going on in the political landscape. Good morning, Little Miss Perfect. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I am. Okay, backed by popular demand, Triple H. Why do they call me Triple H? Because I am honest. I am humble. And I am handsome. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Little Miss Perfect. Once again, we have to address what is going on in the MAGA world, because I am starting to realize I am having such a positive impact on the MAGA community, okay? For those of you who are not familiar with what I do, greetings, Brother Heaven. What I do is bring the unadulterated truth, okay, onto TikTok, no matter what the topic is. Lately, it's just been about politics, but guess what? I can switch it up at any time. And you know what I say? If it's hard for you to digest what I'm saying,
if you're not happy
there
here,
you go.
Then you can leave.
That's right.
As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too.
Yeah.
But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And you know what we got? Wake up! Yes! Get those, yes! We are back at it! Time to get ready to combat misinformation! Yes! 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 We are here once again to combat misinformation. Good morning, Double I. And so along those lines, I wanted to start off by giving a special shout out to Special Counsel Jack Smith. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, okay, a former producer of Fox News has over 90 audio tapes recordings. Yes, put those photos of Jack Smith in the comment section. And it turns out that those recordings include some comments from our good friend Ted Cruz. And many of you know who Ted Cruz is. That it was real, yes. Ted Cruz seemed to have found himself being recorded and disclosing the plan to overturn the 2020 election. Good morning, Leela. And it turns out, yes, that interview, it was on MSNBC. I just put a video up so you can go check it out as well. But it turns out that video, that audio recording that he thought never would surface, it has surfaced. And as a result of surfacing, Jack Smith, yes, Special Counsel Jack Smith wants to talk to Ted Cruz. Now it's all starting to come together, folks. This is why the Trump supporters don't like listening to Zeus. Yes, they don't like coming in here, talking to me and my friends, because they know it's over. Yes, it's over when it comes to, I would argue, it's not looking good for Trump 2024. Every day I wake up, something great happens as far as I am concerned. Now let's move on to the next topic. Let's move on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen, because you know it's been a interesting. It's all coming to a screeching halt, if you ask me. All right, so what's going on here? Now, a lot of you know one of my favorite things to do, right? One of my favorite topics, I should say, is always two things. One, I like talking about people who participated in the so-called peaceful protests on January 6th. And how they are being held accountable. And then the other thing is I like to talk about, the real truth behind who was responsible for the attack on the Capitol. Good morning, peace and locks. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So there is a trial currently going on with the Proud Boys. And they were at the Capitol on January 6th. But something interesting has happened. Yes. It turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that the attorney for the Proud Boys has said that, no, I cannot battle you, that the Proud Boys are being used as the scapegoat for Donald Trump. Yeah. This is what their lawyers are saying. Is it true? Is Donald Trump trying to blame the attack on the Capitol on the Proud Boys? I know. Nazi, nice to see you. Why would Trump want to do this? Why can't Trump just take accountability for his actions? This behavior is indicative of why I continue to say, nope, Unfortunately, I will not continue to sit back and allow Trump to run for president without providing my open rebukes, okay? I do not want Trump supporters to continue to believe that we have forgotten how Trump gets down when he is in the White House. So now he's going to blame this all on the Proud Boys. Okay, and but the Proud Boys, they got a great defense. Okay, they said, you can look at it yourself. You can look at this yourself. What are the Proud Boys saying about the former president trying to throw them under the metaphorical bus? What are they saying? They are saying that they have been set up to take the fall for Donald Trump as investigators of the January 6th Capitol, as instigators of the attack on the Capitol. My apologies. Okay, a lawyer told the group of jurors. They told them this yesterday. So they're already painting the picture of who's responsible for the attack on the Capitol. And the lawyer, ladies and gentlemen, made it a point to make it clear. If you look at what he said, this is what the lawyer said, and this is why when they get into my box and I say, well, in your opinion, okay, these are Trump supporters. In your opinion, who would you say is responsible for the attack on the Capitol? Huh? Who would you say? And they go, I don't know, Zeus. I don't know. There's a lot of people. Ray Epps, Nancy Pelosi. They don't ever want to say Trump. They never do. But this is why I asked them the question, because with all this evidence out here, it's obviously clear that it's Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump is responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, and I will continue to say that. And he is also, there was no evidence of the votes of the 2020 election being stolen. So those are the two things. But this is what the Proud Boys said when it came down to it. It was Donald Trump's words. It was his motivation. It was his anger that caused what occurred on January 6th on this amazing and beautiful city. This is what the lawyer said. Okay, now I want to make sure we take time to point this out, because it's very important that all of the Trump supporters out there, and you know who you are. For those of you who are still left, I know that a lot of the work that I've been doing on TikTok, I've been helping the MAGA people go from being MAGA to possibly they go to being reborn Republicans. That's what they call themselves, or they even call themselves independents, right? So for those of you who are still Trump supporters, this message is for you. They are pointing out, this is the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys attorney is pointing out that it was Donald Trump who was responsible for the attack on the Capitol. Not the Democrats, even though the Democrats also know this. Yes, the Democrats do know that it was Donald Trump, but now the Proud Boys attorney and a bunch of other people who were once in the MAGA world, they're now all of a sudden starting to sing the song that we Democrats have been singing for quite a while. It was Trump. Okay, so please don't care if Biden is 100, he still gets my vote. Yes, President Biden will get to be the second. He will get a second term, especially if Trump is the front runner, ladies and gentlemen. I am so sorry, but I cannot do a TikTok battle. Okay, so let's move it along into what else the Proud Boys were saying, because this was great news. This is great news as far as Zeus is concerned. Let's see. Okay. It was Trump, ladies and gentlemen, who incited the crowd, okay, at the rally. This is what they were saying. Okay, it was also Donald Trump who was requesting the Proud Boy members to stand back and stand by. You remember during the debate? You remember when he was debating? Biden tricked him into it. This is why when they call him Sleepy Joe, I have to say, is he really Sleepy Joe? Because every step of the way, he seems to be beating Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? It was his motivation that got those folks there. And as you can tell, Trump had direct communication with the Proud Boys. Okay? And with all of this information coming out, my only hope is that Jack Smith, God bless Jack Smith, is listening in on what is going on during these trials. It was not Enrique. You know who Enrique is, the leader of the Proud Boys. Enrique says, it wasn't me, it was Trump. And they still want to use Enrique as a scapegoat. So ladies and gentlemen, I am doing this out of the kindness of my heart. I understand there are some of you out there who are still struggling. You're still struggling to deal with the harsh reality that Donald J. Trump just might be a criminal. He just might be a criminal after all. And we've been telling you this for quite a while. All right, now let's move on to the next topic, because ladies and gentlemen, Zeus's work is never done, as you know. All right. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. America overwhelmingly disapproves of the MAGA movement. This is what I've been telling them. This is why I get onto TikTok and I do what I do, okay? Because I've been here already, but America in general hasn't been here. And that is because of the amount of misinformation that's being circulated. Yes, please put those blue waves in the comment section, okay? The amount of misinformation that continues to be circulated, I would argue, has contributed to this delayed reaction. It's a delayed reaction, right? They should have seen the light a long time ago, but they haven't. And I would argue it had a lot to do with Fox News. Yeah, it had a lot to do with Facebook. Russia put a lot of misinformation on Facebook, right? But you know what they can't do? Russia can't really take over TikTok, because too many content creators like myself, we can go live and we can have these conversations and shout down all lies and misinformation. Yes. So if we go and look at some of the polling results, ladies and gentlemen, you can check this out for yourself. That's why I put these headlines here. This is why I put it there. A scant 24% of respondents viewed the traffic cone colored demagogues movement. For those of you who don't understand what I'm saying, they're talking about Donald Trump and his movement. 24% viewed it as favorable. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, I know you don't like it. But unfortunately, Trump supporters, you just don't have enough support to win 2024. It's over. Oh my gosh. While nearly twice as many, 45%, expressed their distaste for the anti-democratic ideology. Shout out. What can we say? What can we say? Trump supporters, for those of you who are still left, I call them my critics and my detractors. For those of you who are still left, read the tea leaves. The writing is on the wall. It is now time for you to retreat. Yes! Get them out of here! I gotta love that trumpet. Yes! Retreat! Retreat, Trump supporters! Your movement is over. And guess who has contributed to it being over? Me, along with a lot of my friends. Yes, you can go into all those lives on TikTok. You can go into those lives all you want. And I know what you're doing in there, because I've been in there. I've mastered all of the Trump supporter lives. I've gone in and I've mastered your kung fu. Okay. and it's over. I am now the Shaolin master, so to speak, okay? I know how to block and strike at the same time. The fear tactics, it won't work. What else did you have? Oh, yeah, you had Fox News. That won't work. What else did you have? You had lying Ted Cruz. It doesn't look like that's going to work. You're not going to be able to run to your so-called extreme members of Congress and rely on them any longer because they have been exposed. We've had the January 6th hearing. Jim Jordan, unfortunately, Jim Jordan's not going to be able to save you. Yes, the house of cards is truly falling. The results are in, okay? And it gets worse. It gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Biden actually, God bless President Joseph Biden. What I truly appreciate about President Biden is he's not in this. He's not in this to be dominating the news headlines, every single day like the former president. He works in silence because he takes his job seriously. Biden's thing is, I got to do my job first. Then I can deal with the media. His strategy was, all I care about is the media and myself. And perhaps if I have time, I'll do my job. Shame! Shame on the former president, because that won't get you reelected. So Biden says, for Biden and the Democrat cohorts, the MAGA has become shorthand, fervor. For people who refer to themselves as Trump cultists, okay? I don't think they do, but I think they are. Trump cultists who cling to the former president's extreme rhetoric behavior like barnacles on a sinking oligarch yacht. Wow. I like how they do this and they tie it to their whole Russia thing. Because as quiet as it is kept, ladies and gentlemen, I have more breaking news. It is true that if you are a Trump supporter, you are also a Russian sympathizer. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's true here in the kingdom. If you are a Trump supporter, that is equivalent to you being a Russian sympathizer, okay? And from my vantage point, way out here in Olympus, because listen, there can only be one in the kingdom. That's the God. And it is I, Zeus. You are guilty. Treason. You got Tucker Carlson getting let go from Fox News. You go on to RTV, Russian TV, right? And you hear what they're saying. Tucker, you can come on over here and you can work with us in Russia. Come on, Tucker. Really? What else are they doing? They're being critical. Oh, Fox News. It was way too harsh. You're way too harsh on Tucker Carlson. So I had to sit back and think to myself, why would Russia care so much about what Fox News is doing unless Russia had a vested interest in it? Yes, Trump supporters, it is now time for you to come to grips with this. And I understand how you got here. Perhaps, oh my gosh, perhaps you got here, because you've been on Facebook, because you've been spreading you got these people out here, they spread a lot of misinformation and they get you to start going along with their shenanigans. Wake up. I know you don't want to be woke. But it's time for you to wake up, because if you do not wake up, you will end up like these folks out there in Washington, D.C., who are serving time for going there and protesting. You will end up like Senator Ted Cruz. Yes, Ted Cruz, we have caught you red-handed on the phone, confessing the crime of you trying to help Donald J. Trump overturn the 2020 election. Shame. It is truly over for the MAGA crowd. It is time to jump ship. I know you want to be loyal, but it's truly over. Now let's move it along to my next interesting topic because, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much going on the political landscape. Oh, but I gotta say this. I do have to say this. It looks like Bernie Sanders, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Bernie Sanders. Oh my God, Joe Biden has just gotten an endorsement from Bernie Sanders. Well, we all know Biden announced he's running for a second term, and he did it so humbly. I mean, if there's anyone that might be more humble than me, I would argue it may be President Biden, okay? Because President Biden knows how to do his work and just keep his head down, okay? And this is why I believe Bernie Sanders said, you know what? He deserves a second term. For those of you who still don't know, we have the receipts. We have the receipts over here, ladies and gentlemen. Biden's track record speaks for itself. $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure. 500 plus million. I think he's at 750 million. Vaccines in the arms of American people. That's 79% of Americans getting vaccinated. Oh, stop the 30-year streak on federal inaction when it comes to gun violence. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to investments in climate change, student loan debt relief. Come on, order! What else did Bernie Sanders have to say about his endorsement of President Joseph R. Biden? He said he did this in a bid to counter Donald Trump and other Republican candidates. Yes, I agree. We don't trust him at this moment. The Republican Party really does need to get their act together. Bernie Sanders went on to say the last thing this country needs is Donald Trump or some other right-wing demagogue who is going to try to undermine American democracy or take away women's rights to choose, or not address the crisis of gun violence, or racism, sexism, or homophobia. Thank you. Order. This is what we're talking about out here in these lovely United States of America. And this is why I believe the MAGA movement is coming to a screeching halt. They don't know what to do right now. And I get it. You don't know what to do with all this truth circling around. You can't go back and hide behind QAnon. You don't have the shaman. You can't even blame Nancy Pelosi. You can't blame Ray Epps. The only people left in this terrible, scary movie that was authored by Donald J. Trump and his supporters, the only thing left, yes, Q Flynn. Yes, the only character left is you know who. Donald J. Trump. Listen, between Alvin Bragg, Jack Smith, Fonnie Willis, and Letitia James, everyone is starting to be held accountable, and there's really nothing you can do about it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, speaking of Alvin Bragg, I saw that out there, Angela. Thank you so much. Alvin Bragg. How many people love them some Alvin Bragg? Listen, the Manhattan prosecutors have asked the judge to limit Trump's ability to publicize information about his criminal case. This is what we do. We take our time making sure Donald J. Trump is going to be held accountable for his dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds. And I know a lot of people out there, a lot of people out there are wishing that this would happen a lot sooner. But I'm starting to understand, I'm starting to trust the process that, you know what? Perhaps we do need to take our time when it comes to Alvin Bragg and all these other prosecutors, because the more time that we allow to pass, the more information, greetings, brother attacking, the more time that we allow to pass, the more information that we get, and it trickles out of the sky, like bread, manna falling out of the sky. You're, oh my gosh, thank you for this. I needed it. All this information, thank you, attacking. Yes, it trickles out of the sky. And next thing you know, we find out to what extent Donald J. Trump broke the law. Yeah. Okay, so, and I understand why Alvin Bragg is moving in this direction, because obviously you cannot trust Donald Trump to keep his mouth shut at all and potentially sabotage the case in a way that helps him win. We're not going to allow it to happen. So Alvin Bragg, thank you for doing this. Prosecutors with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office have asked the judge overseeing Donald Trump's criminal case to impose a protective order restricting the former president's ability to publicize information about the investigation. Yeah, we're not going to allow you to do that whole thing. What do you want to do? What does he like to do?
So, let's have trial by combat.
We're not going to allow it. We're not going to allow it, sir. Okay, now let's move it along, because there is a risk that the defendant will use the covered materials inappropriately is substantial. Yes, we all know how Trump gets down. The defendant has a long history of discussing his legal matters publicly. Yes, he does. He can't keep his mouth shut. I know. Including by targeting witnesses. Oh, yeah. We're setting him up. We're setting Trump up in the most amazing way so that, you know what? He might end up on the fast track to jail. Okay? Targeting witnesses, jurors, investigators, prosecutors, and judges with harassing, embarrassing, and threatening statements on social media and in other public forums. Social media and other public forums, I'm sorry. And he has already done so in this case. We all saw what he did. We all saw him take the picture of himself next to Alvin Bragg with a bat. Yeah. You're not going to get this far this time, Donnie, because every little step you take right now, whether it's at your so-called home in Mar-a-Lago or whatever you decide you want to tweet, we're going to have you being monitored every single inch. And there's nothing you can do about it, sir, because we know how you get down. In seeking the protective order, prosecutors have cited Trump's attacking witnesses who previously spoke out against him, including his former personal attorney, Michael Cohen. Yeah, a lot of people go down here and they go, Michael Cohen, he cannot be trusted. He's a liar, blah, 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 blah. And I would like to push back on those people and say, oh no, Michael Cohen, he's a redeemed soul. He's found Jesus, and he is now very, very credible. He's done his time for the crimes. And again, the crimes included stuff that he did for the former president. So as far as I am concerned, his word is as good as gold, okay? And Trump continues to try to attack him, okay? And along with Alexander Vindman, a former national security official who testified publicly during Trump's first impeachment. I like that, because a lot of people still don't think Trump got impeached. He got impeached, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. They asked the judge to order that Trump only be allowed to view certain materials turned over by the prosecutor in the presence of his defense counsel, and not allow him to copy the materials as limited dissemination materials. Let me go ahead and if you want to see it, Trump, if you want to see what Alvin Bragg, they go, we need to see the evidence. Well, if you want to see the evidence, sir, you got to see it in person, okay? And you know what that means. You got to take another trip to New York. Good morning, Brother Swervin. They don't like me because I'm telling the truth, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? I'd rather be realer than you. Now, the last thing I'm going to cover before I open up the box is, this is very serious. This is very serious. Yesterday, Trump made a very big mistake on the first day of his defamation trial, and it got worse. I don't know if you are paying attention to this. This is the worst, ladies and gentlemen, for you, those of you who are Trump supporters. This is probably the worst 1.5 hours of your day, but it can also be the most liberating 1.5 hours of your day. Because what I'm doing, along with the other people here, is we're telling you what's really going on so that you won't be out here, in these lives. I know you like to go to these lives and you like to debate what's going on. And this is going to help make you strong debaters. You're going to be very strong because you now know what's out here. You can't say you don't. Okay, that's what these lives are for. That's what this dialogue is all about. So yes, he made a big mistake yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. The defense of Donald J. Trump in the Manhattan courtroom where he stands accused of rape and defamation by writer E. Jean Carroll got off to a terrible, terrible start yesterday. This is why I say you got to make sure you know what you know before you get out here, because you don't want to be out here defending somebody who actually may end up being found guilty of this stuff. Do you? Oh my gosh. In the column in the Daily Beast, the attorney's legal analyst, Shin Woo, stated that the former president's choice not to attend the opening proceedings while his accuser was in full view of the jury pool could come back to haunt him, and that his attorney's initial approach did not help. This is what I'm saying, folks. The courtroom is way different than what you're getting told out here on TikTok. It's way different than that stuff you've been watching, Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown. That stuff and what really goes on in the courtroom, way different, night and day. It's not no rehearsal, action, cut scenes. It's really the real deal. And Trump missed out on an opportunity to defend himself. What kind of attorneys does he have that let him not even show up to court? Shame! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you some advice. I'm not one of these TikTok lawyers or anything like that. But let me say this to you. If you're being asked to show up at court, the best thing to do is to go. Okay? And I gave that to you for free. I didn't ask you for a crying dime. But please, do not allow yourself to be played like Donald Trump did by not showing up. What kind of message do you think that sends to the entire courtroom? From the plaintiff side, from the jury box, from the clerk to the judge. What that says is, I don't care. I'm sure that kind of attitude is going to do wonders for the former president. Okay, I'm sorry I had to tell this. Trump, if you paid me enough money, I may give you that same advice and more. Okay, now let's move it along a little bit further into this story. The absence in a trial could end with him being branded as a, you see the word, I'm not going to say it. His absence could result with him being branded this. So to the Trump supporters, do you really want to continue to get out here in public and say you stand with Donald Trump, the rapist? I can't. You should be ashamed of yourself. This conduct may have already left jurors with questions about his innocence, and his attorneys will never be able to overcome this, ladies and gentlemen. So as far as I'm concerned, it's over. Between the numbers declining for the MAGA crowd, and Trump not even wanting to show up to defend himself. It is over. Now, with that being said, it is now time for Zeus to open up those boxes and have these tough conversations with those of you who are still here and left. Bye, Trump supporters. Bye. Retreat. It's over. Yes. It's over. You don't like me because I tell the truth. But guess what? I'd rather be realer than you. Brother Anthony, greetings. Nice to see you. Yes, I am doing good. It's a little warm. It is. Let's bring up our first guest, Brother Attacking. Greetings.
Zeus, I feel cleansed with your speech.
Yes, you do.
And it has inspired me.
Oh, in what way?
May I start out with this? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Hey.
I once was lost, but now I'm found.
Woo.
Was blind, but now I see.
Hey. That was spectacular attack.
Oh.
You almost sounded just as good as Barack Obama when he sang that very song. Attacking.
Oh. To compare me to Barack Obama, oh my God, you have just done the most amazing thing. You have just opened up my heart with that. So I love that man so much.
Yes. Yeah. Obama was a great president, right?
He was a great inspiration to people all over the world.
Thank you.
He's a father, a loving husband. He's a professional. He's articulate. He's smart. He's caring. He's everything that people would aspire to be and or have their children look up to as a representation of what a good person is.
Wow. You speak so highly of him. Did Obama pay you, Attacking, to say those things? Because a lot of people, they say things like he divided our country like no other president in American history.
No, that would be Donald Trump. I think Barack Obama was the shining beacon on the hill that America is and should be, as people across the world look up as America as a shining star of prosperity, unity, love,
yes,
and inclusion. Our flag, which is called Old Glory, waves high in the sky as a blanket of freedom and protection for everybody who wants to come into the United States. And the flag wraps itself around the body who comes here and protects them and wants to include them in America as their own.
You hear that? You hear that? To the Trump supporters, okay? Your numbers are dwindling. But that doesn't mean there's no hope for you. Listen to what Attacking just said. Obama is not who you believe he was. He's actually the exact opposite.
Guess what?
What's
this? This is only on one cup of coffee. Wait till I have my second one.
Hey, listen, go ahead and get it.
But anyway, yes, E. Jean Carroll's case started yesterday. It's going to continue today. Donald Trump is not going to show up, and his not being there as it will show to the jury that he does not take this as important in regards to the legal system, and he himself thinks he is above the law.
Right. And let's just play this out. When he is, branded as such, the word grape is. Do you think his supporters are still going to, get up on TikTok and proudly support him? And if so,
yes,
what
but
does
hold
that
on for a
say
second.
about them?
Hold on for 1 second. Yes, I do agree. I'll address that in a second. You got Heaven VIP. The best part of waking up is attacking in your cup. Oh, Heaven, that is just so funny.
I love it. I love it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is a live of truth. You cannot get this anywhere. Okay? There's no fear. There's no fear being promoted here. There's no misinformation being promoted here. This is just folks coming up, sharing the good news.
I think it's going to take some time, but after Donald Trump starts losing the sheen off of his armor, people will start to come around. But it's going to take about a good 5 to 7 years before anything happens for normal the people who supported Trump to come around and finally realize, God dang, we were duped.
Yeah.
But
5 to 7 years? Oh my gosh, it's hacking. That's a long time.
Dude, I really honestly think it's going to take a longer time. It's going to take a couple rotations of presidencies and political people in the realm right now for it to be washed. It's kind of like washing your clothes. You can't get the stain out of your white shirt until you really start washing it and put a little bit more bleach in it and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's going to take a long time.
Well, you know what? As long as it takes, I think I'm going to remain committed to doing what I do, which is bringing down this heavy hammer of truth.
So I'm going to drop. I just wanted to do what I did, and I hope you bring somebody else up who, of course, will side with what we're saying, of course. But anyway, you have a fantastic day. You are the Triple H of all Triple H's.
Absolutely.
And I bow to your superiority.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, okay? But thank you for the compliment. Okay? Right. Zeus is a moral human just like you, except for when I get in the studio. Okay? Thank you, brother. Attacking! Wow. Isn't it so lovely that we have honest people out here on TikTok that just want to come in, share the good news, no lies? Why is it so hard for my friends on the right to do the same thing? Good morning, Gina. Nice to see you. Oh, yes. Shout out to Brother Swervin. Yes. What we got going on today, ladies and gentlemen, is what my friends on the right like to call an echo chamber. And yes, as long as it's the truth, it's allowed to echo. Greetings, Brother Swervin.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Living the dream one day at a time.
Hey, I love it. Listen, you sound like you're in a good mood.
Well, I try to always be in a good mood. I wish I could get my throat to doing better, though, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe sinuses? Is that what it is, perhaps?
No, my vocal cords are actually damaged.
Oh.
And the only way to fix them is with Botox injections, and I'm just very leery of having a needle shoved into my throat. So
yeah, that doesn't sound too fun.
Yeah, especially with botulism.
Yeah. Oh wow. Wow.
You intentionally want to give me a plague? Get out of here.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
But no, I'm hanging in there, man. I'm doing good. The shrimp came out great. So
really, I peeked in that live. I heard you talking about giving the German Shepherd salmon and stuff like that. Is that true?
Yeah. You can give your dogs fish.
Yeah, but you say you gotta cook it a little extra.
Yeah, you wanna try to bleed some of that oil out, otherwise it'll give them the runs.
Yeah, make sure you take care of your dogs.
They'll have the scoots pretty bad, and you won't be able to stop it.
Yeah, Yeah, I
No
like
matter how well trained the dog is, it's coming out one way or the other.
that. Fair enough. Fair
So
enough.
let's talk about the Tandalorian.
Mm.
Why would you
Really?
not show up for your own defamation case? I mean, it is a civil case, so he's not required to be there. I get
Right.
that, I understand
Right.
that. But it kind of shows faith with the jury that, hey, they were important enough to bring this case. It should be important enough for me to show my face.
Right.
And he just, this is the typical Donald Trump tactic. It's not important enough for me to lend my weight to right now. But if that jury finds him guilty, then it's going to be a political witch hunt. He's going to cry victim like he always does and give me more money.
Oh.
We already know how the grift operation works. I just wish more people could understand it and see it and just stop for a moment and think, why does a billionaire always need my money?
Why?
I need my money.
Why does he always need your money?
I have no clue. But
So
what do you expect from the fraud father?
Hey, the fraud father. Do you think that perhaps there is some truth to what E. Jean Carroll is claiming? Do you think there is? And that because he could always say, I don't think it's really true, so why should I be there? That's what the angle's gonna be.
Well, so far, I think one of the angles that they're trying to push is she doesn't have a definitive date as to when this occurred. So they're going to push that angle. They're gonna grill her on that stand. His lawyers are. The other angle, I don't really know enough about E. Jean Carroll to be able to make an assessment as to whether or not she's truthful. However, she feels confident in what she's saying because she allegedly has a DNA sample. And, it's only so many ways you can get a DNA sample.
Woo.
So, and he, as far as I know, he still refuses to turn over his DNA. Now, between me, you, and the fence post,
Yes.
if a woman said I assaulted her and said, well, we have DNA in the case. Here you go. Here's some hair samples. Here's a cheek swab. Here's some semen. Here's a buccal swab. Here's a toenail. Go ahead, do your thing, because I know I didn't do it.
Right.
That's how I would have been. I would have been all over like
You would have
Carroll
given him.
Gorilla.
You would have given everything that you would felt you need to give in order to absolve yourself of this situation.
Oh, absolutely. I'd have gave him my DNA, my dog's DNA, my wife's DNA, my mother-in-law's DNA, just to prove that nobody in my family had anything to do with these shenanigans.
Wow.
That's how confident I am. I would have handed it right over.
But Trump didn't do that.
No. They would have been like, hey, Daryl, we need to come and get a DNA sample. You know what? I'm on my way. I'll come to you because I want this over.
Yeah. So based on what you're saying to me, Brother Swervin, I'm inclined to lean towards the direction of guilty. Okay? A lot of people come into my live and they say, Trump's not guilty, or what has he been charged with? Give us a docket number. Would it be safe to say that this is now docket number 2? At least?
At least. There's an allegation in this case. I believe there's an allegation of defamation and battery because he actually said in public, the defamation came when he said in public something to the effect, she's too ugly. She's just not even my type. Why would I have assaulted her? She ain't my type, or something like that. And then went on to call her a bunch of names and try to discredit her, which again, that's Trump's MO. It's the whole me, victim.
Right, he's the ultimate victim.
Yeah.
While he's running around here committing all these crimes. I'm just a victim that seems to be always getting caught committing crimes. This is worse than a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Yeah, he's probably sitting there looking at it like, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those pesky kids and that dog.
Yeah.
But Zeus, one thing I did want to touch base with you on, I don't know, do you know who Zoe Zephyr is?
No, who's that?
Zoe Zephyr is the first trans woman elected to the House of Representatives in
Montana.
They were voting on a bill or getting ready to vote on a bill, which I believe passed yesterday, to completely ban any kind of gender affirming care in the state. When they were debating the bill, she made the statement, if this bill passes, you will have blood on your hands. They immediately silenced her on the floor, and she has not been able to speak on the floor for the past 5 or 6 days now.
Shame!
They are voting on measures
You
to
said,
actually
when
censor
you
her.
said they silenced her, are you referring to the members of the Republican Party?
The Republican Party, they're going to. They've already silenced her because they have the whip in the House, and she got silenced. Today, they're voting on a censorship measure to keep her from ever speaking on the House floor again.
Wow.
Okay, so here we go again with Republicans screaming about freedom of speech, right? They're the first ones to scream about freedom of speech, First Amendment rights.
Yeah.
But they are not only silencing, and I said the same thing when the two Justins got removed. Not only did they silence the two Justins, Double J as I call them,
Yeah.
not only are they silencing Zoe, but they are also silencing the constituents who voted for them. Those people are supposed to be the voice of the people in the elected houses.
Wow.
That's what they're there for.
Wow.
And they're shutting all those people up. And this, again, is what Republicans are good at. If we don't like what's going on, we'll just change the rules.
We want you to be quiet and suffer, and we'll change the rules.
Yep. Same thing in Pennsylvania when they found out Gen Z didn't vote for them. They said, well, they actually considered changing the legal voting age in Pennsylvania to 25. And I'm like, y'all keep losing. You keep pushing these archaic laws, these ridiculous bills.
It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you.
Help.
This is not a solution. But
Yep.
we see what you're up to and what you're doing, what you did out there in Tennessee with those three lovely souls who are trying to bring legislation forward to help stop gun violence in these schools.
All they want to do is silence them because they don't want to talk about it. They think all of these problems will be fixed once they get done investigating Hunter Biden's laptop.
God, please leave Hunter Biden's laptop alone. Your hands are already dirty. You can't seriously be trying to call Hunter Biden out with all of this dirt and crime on your hands. Make it make sense. Come on, folks.
Well, there's I got to read more into it, but I think there's another ethics investigation for another Republican representative in Mississippi. I gotta read more into it and find out who it is.
Get him out of here.
But it's just ridiculous. The projection that, we have our moral values. Really, why was Scotty Campbell, why did he just resign over harassment?
Why?
Not one, but two interns.
Yeah, I'm hearing about all these stories. That's why I'd like to dedicate certain parts of my morning monologue about Republicans behaving badly. Because you keep finding them with their hand in the cookie jar. Even now, the latest, Ted Cruz. You heard about what he's done.
Oh, you mean Fled Cruz?
Now
Fled
that's
Cruz, I'm going to leave my dogs at home.
Yes, even him. Now we have him on the phone confessing his involvement on January 6th.
These have got to be the dumbest criminals in the world. They would not have lasted 15 minutes in Al Capone's organization.
They really couldn't have.
John Gotti would have gave him the concrete overcoat.
Oh!
Sorry, you got to go. Y'all come up in here with these phones and little pen recorders and all this other garbage, and no, y'all got to go.
Yeah.
Every time you turn around, they're getting caught on tape doing or saying something that they later regret.
Yeah. And at this point, there's not going to be mercy. No, I'm asking for the laws to be held, used and applied at 100% pressure.
I think
No letter.
I think it was Oklahoma. They had the three city officials on tape. They were angry because you could no longer lynch people or stuff like that, using the N word. And
oh yeah, all that too. Another example of Republicans behaving badly.
It's like my daddy used to tell me, man, when people show you who they are, you believe it.
Exactly. And we see who they really are now. Yeah, I agree, Boca, that we do need better representation in our public offices, but one must come to grips with the reality that we need to start in the Republican Party first.
Yeah, the Republicans, I don't think it'll be anytime soon before a Republican is seated in the White House again. Like you and attacking, we're saying we need to start voting these people out. And this is where, I don't understand why you would let Lauren Boebert, the notorious GED, sit there and say something like, what did she say? Oh, we need to put church back in schools. Ain't no such thing as a separation of church and state. That's not in the Constitution. I'm like, you're a member of Congress. You should know that's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
The separation of church and state, but she doesn't believe it. Marjorie Trader Green, who is sitting there saying, if I would have been in charge of that insurrection, we would have won because we would have been armed. So you just spoke up against the very government that you decided to become a part of, that you work for. And you don't
shame on
work for your constituents. And I'm sure your constituents don't feel the same as you do. These people need to be voted out, these radical extremists. And it's funny to me, we saw Joe Biden's commercial where he's going to be running again.
Yes, it was a lovely commercial.
He mentioned MAGA Republicans. And anytime I hear that word, I recognize it from the flag of the KKK.
Oh.
From way back in the day. It's one of their banners as they're marching down the street.
Oh, is that what they do?
That's what they did. This was from
I
believe this picture was from the 40s or 50s. Then you had Ronald Reagan adopted, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, when was America great for everyone? Because when you use the term again, that is past tense.
Yes.
I'm going to make shrimp again. I'm going to be driving to the grocery store again. Well, when was the last time you went to the store? Oh, well, but so you have to ask the question. You have to beg the question.
Yes.
Was America great for everyone? I'm talking men, women, the BIPOC.
I don't, if this was a computer coding situation and I told it to go find the results, it would come back, inconclusive. There is no evidence that it was ever great. Yeah. Right?
I mean, Europeans landed on this continent and slaughtered the indigenous personnel that were here.
Oh.
I'm sure that wasn't great.
Oh. Is that in American history?
For 400 years.
Do they teach that in school?
Oh, no. What they teach in the schools is Columbus was like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Right? That's the song I was taught.
Yep.
Buff Dickles, greetings. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous, man. And for 400 years, our people were enslaved, beaten, tortured, unalived on a daily basis, sold as cattle, property. And today, here we are almost 500 years later from the day that started, and we still live under a system of oppression. So was America great for everyone? That's a question they can never answer, Zeus.
It's tough to answer such questions when it requires you to be honest. It's almost like you get caught cheating, right? What person gets caught cheating and did you cheat on me? What do you do?
No.
Yeah.
You know the easiest way to not get caught.
We got the evidence you did. We saw you over there at her house, at his house, wherever it was. We saw it, but we know that it's hard for you to tell the truth in those kind of moments. But it doesn't mean that we're going to allow you to lie to us.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And it's always been my philosophy. Here's the easiest way to not ever get caught cheating.
Uh-oh.
Don't do it. Don't do it. If you break up with somebody first before you start ruining several different lives at once, you get a little stank on your hang low. I mean, get out of here, man. People are just, I don't know.
You hear that? Say that
But
again. Don't do it. And if you're going to move on, you said what?
break up with the other person first before
Swerve.
you start ruining several different lives at once. You know, it just, I mean, that to me just seems like common sense. You know, and some people just they don't think things through.
Yeah.
Especially men, because they like, oh, I'm gonna get over there tonight, and I'm just, oh, we're gonna have a good old time. At the same time, his wife is sitting there going, baby, what you want for dinner tonight?
Oh,
You know,
shame!
just wrong, man. But listen, brother, I'm gonna drop down. I got some studies I need to get to.
Danger. All
And
right, brother Swerving. Thank you so much.
I'll be listening, man. Zeus, always a pleasure. You letting me in the kingdom. I appreciate you.
Yes.
And you be safe out there and keep holding it down like always. All right.
Will do, sir. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, brother Swerving. He brought all the truth out today. We didn't talk politics and relationships. Swerving, you know what? That's pretty impressive to say the least. To the men out there, listen, do not cheat on your partner. Women, do not cheat on your partner. You must first break up and then start to move along. Okay? Don't ruin people's lives. Okay? What a nice morsel of truth this morning. Anthony, yeah, that applies to you too, champion. All right, we must move it along to the next panelist. Oh my gosh. Oh my good friend Shay. Oh, Anthony, I hope you got something to say about this. Greetings, Shay.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Woo-hoo! It's a good day. Hey, here's what I wanted to talk about. Did you see James Comer? You know how Snuggles loves to talk about James Comer?
Oh, what's going on with James Comer, Shay?
James Comer.
What's going on with Mr.
Last
Comer?
night, admitted after all the investigations into Biden family, he has not found anything.
Really?
Yes, you want to listen to it?
Please do, because this is going to send Zeus through the roof, Shay. Please do not tell me this is probably one of the best weeks on TikTok. Let's go!
I was like, what?
Shay, let's do it. Let's do it.
So, as chairman of the House Oversight Committee, you have been investigating members of Joe Biden's family and their business with the Bidens. Have you found anything illegal while he was actually in office?
Well, we found a lot that's certainly unethical. We found a lot that should be illegal. The line is blurry as to what is legal and not legal with respect to family influence peddling. I think people in both parties have argued for many years that family members of both Republicans and Democrats, especially family members of presidents, have benefited from our adversaries around the world. I don't think that anyone would dispute the fact that we need to increase the ethics laws and the disclosures laws. One thing that we're concerned about is the president, Joe Biden, has said he didn't have any knowledge of his family business dealings or whatever you want to call them. But we find more and more evidence every day that he was knowledgeable of what his family was doing, and that we believe that with respect to the excessive amounts of money that the family was receiving, they were certainly more than likely getting something in return from Joe Biden.
What specifically have you seen in terms of that dynamic happening that you say? And again, was any of this happening, this evidence that you purport to have, happening while Biden was actually in office?
Right.
Because this announcement last month, you claimed that at least 3 Biden family members and 2 associates received payments that originated from China, but you said it was 2017. That was after Joe Biden had left office.
Well,
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you know,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, you know, that's what they're doing. They're pumping like, but we know that he had to be doing it. We know that you know, there's a lot of talk about he knew,
Yeah.
but we're not finding any of it. We're just saying, you know, it just looks bad. And then like, there's not really, you know, but then we don't really have any laws against it.
Oh.
So, you know, so there's not really any laws, you know, there's not really anything we can put on him. But, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
I wasn't cheating or anything. I was just over, just kind of out there, I wasn't really. All that stuff?
yeah.
Yeah. Misinformation.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
I know.
Get James Comer out of here. You know what? You know what we ought to do? We ought to recommend Jack Smith go investigate James Comer. Okay, I know he got to be breaking some laws, right?
Something. I mean, it's like, and she brings out like this is 2017 when he was a private citizen. So if there's anything there's not anything he's done while he was in office. There's
nothing. Clean as a whistle.
You know, and this is you know the whole thing that Snuggles always pushed. James Comer's coming for the Biden family, and here he is on national television saying, "Well, you know, we haven't really found anything, but
nothing.
You know, there's a lot of chatter." Yeah.
Nothing at all. So once again, we have found another Republican behaving badly. Okay. Who has built their career on lies and misinformation, and now we are hearing out of their own mouth that they themselves have nothing really to say outside of the lies. No. Shame.
There is nothing. That's the thing. There's just not.
No, it didn't, Danger. It sounded real. It's not Saturday Night Live.
Is there nepotism? Of course there is. That happens. I mean, you know, people have advantages because you know somebody, you know, I can get, you know, as a som, I might know the som at a restaurant. I call and get reservations, you know, because I know people, right? And sometimes I'll pull my little trick out of the hat and go, yeah, let me see if they're working and get us in at the bar. You know, like everybody has a way of, you know, like, hey, I can do this because I know someone, you know. Is that illegal? No. Everybody freaking does it, you know? Like, it's not, you know, it's just exactly nepotism. What about Ivanka and Jared?
They don't talk about Ivanka and Jared. Nope. Greetings, Brother Greg. Why don't they talk about Ivanka and Jared Kushner?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think I heard something through the grapevine. They're going to start doing some investigations on that too. On Jared and the $2 billion. So we'll see. Yep. But yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm in favor of those investigations because, you know, James Comer, you know you like to do them. And if you have a sneaking suspicion, you got to look into it. So why don't you look into Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump for us, okay? We already got Jack Smith and Alvin Bragg and a whole host of other people looking into the criminal stuff. But we need you to go look into this, okay? Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. I just wanted to do that and just like point it out. I thought that was funny. And then, you know, I really do feel for those that believe that they're going to find something on the Bidens. It's like, it's just, they're not, because there isn't anything, you know. It's like, have you ever figured out why supposedly you know all this information, but everyone else doesn't? Like, I mean, like, it's weird, right?
Yeah. They think, you know, there's this thing, right? And I used to be a conspiracy theorist, right? You get to a point where you go, whatever they're telling me, I'm not going to believe. What I find that they're not saying, I'm going to believe. And then you think that makes you smart. I have news for you. That does not make you smart. That makes you lost.
You're a used little puppet, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
You're so excited. They give you the little morsel, the little carrot in front of you to keep you walking in front of the cart and pulling the MAGA train, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. They're giving me something to be hopeful for. Yes.
Yes. Good morning, April. It's, you know, it's like the movie, The Wizard of Oz, right? You know, who was behind that curtain?
Oh, good question. Good question, right?
Who's behind the curtain? Trump supporters! Tell us who's curtain, please. I would love to see it. Okay.
Absolutely. And at some point, you got to talk about Abby Grossberg. What's going
Oh,
on with
oh,
her?
I did. I covered her earlier.
Cool.
Are you
Okay.
talking
Yeah.
about Lion Ted?
Lying Ted and all the stuff on Tucker Carlson
Yeah.
and all the, the pathetic, propaganda to try to find an FBI agent within the crowd since they had been pushing it and pushing it. I know this is crazy right here. Yeah, I know Ted Cruz is like, oh, Mo, like, come on.
Shout out to Jack Smith, because what Jack Smith has done as a result of this information, he did it in record time, right? Oh, Ted Cruz, we got you on tape.
Yeah. Yeah. Got you on tape. She's got all this stuff on tape and working for that, and a whole thing with Tucker Carlson trying to find the FBI agent because he realized that the Ray Epps thing wasn't true and he couldn't push it any longer. And they're like, there is no FBI agent leading the crowd. This is all Proud Boys and Oath Keepers and, all of that. And then did you see what she said? That there are pictures of Nancy Pelosi in a bikini all within Tucker Carlson, like the staff back there. She said it was even when she pulled up her computer on the first day of the job, it was a screenshot of that. She's like, I had to take it down. Like, how gross is that? Like,
it's disgusting.
Isn't that disgusting? Like, she's on vacation and they take a picture of her and they put it all over all over the offices of Tucker Carlson. Like, come on.
You know what? Like,
Jack
Smith, I hope you are listening to this live. This is probably one of the most honest lives on TikTok, Jack Smith. I think it's safe to say, sir, that you need to go ahead and look at Tucker Carlson for his involvement with the activities around January 6th. I'm concerned, Jack Smith. Okay?
Yeah.
In addition, you need to look at Kevin McCarthy now, because I'm still on the fence about why Kevin McCarthy gave Tucker Carlson all those hours of the January 6th footage. Yes. Good morning, Fanny.
Yeah, and where is that footage? I find it funny. He got 41,000 hours of this footage and showed maybe 14 minutes of it, and that's it. He didn't show anything else. And I find that funny. He had it for months, and it's like, okay, is that it? He did one show.
Well, he did that show. That was a cover for why he really needed that footage. I would argue they're trying to destroy evidence.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you tried to spin it, and it didn't work because people like Snuggles and a lot of them, they're just going to believe it. They don't care. It's like, look, he opened the door. Look, the door. Look, they guided him around. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, if I was 3 years old and I didn't have the wisdom I have, I would believe that. But I'm a seasoned veteran now when it comes to identifying lies and conspiracies. Listen, I'm a rehabilitated man. When it comes to lying and cheating and stealing, I used to do it with the best of them. I know all tactics, and you cannot trick Zeus at all. So shame.
Yes.
You cannot trick me into believing those crazy stories. Okay? Here's the deal. As far as I'm concerned, they're all guilty. They're all guilty, Shay.
Yeah, they are.
And I know they like to say you're innocent until proven guilty. In normal circumstances, yes. But in this circumstance, no, you're guilty until you prove that you're innocent, because the evidence is just overwhelming. The evidence in the public space is way, way overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. It's way overwhelming. And for those that are sitting here going, well, and Dane, I love you, brother. But yeah, you guys obviously have a different news channel, because that's the thing. Supposedly all this evidence on the Bidens, we've never heard about it, never seen it. So somewhere you're into different channels.
They're on Russian TV. Like I said earlier, if you are a Trump supporter, in this kingdom, you are also a Russian sympathizer.
Yep, it's all part of that completely. And Snuggles.
I don't watch RTV. I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't either. And that's the thing. It's so sad. You know, they've spent 30 years of misinformation on the right, trying to get them to understand, to keep them, because they know they can't keep them with policy. Okay, they know that everything they're trying to do is not popular. So then they do other things to get them to feel like, you know, they're not safe, or the world's coming apart, or the country's coming to an end, or da 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 da. And they buy into it. And they're like, yeah, exactly. My gas is at $3. The world is coming to an end. My country is being torn apart. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, going over to Russia if you don't like what Biden is doing. And by the way, God bless President Biden for doing such an amazing job. You don't have Hunter Biden on tape trying to overthrow an election.
No, you sure don't. You don't have anybody on tape overthrowing an election except for the MAGA people.
I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to come up with a new slogan for the MAGA, and you know it's gonna have to have something with a Russian twist.
Come up with a cocktail we can all drink one day. Something with a Russian twist.
Yes, because they know exactly what they're doing. Now I'm gonna have to bring up our next guest. It's
Thank
so
you for having
lovely
me.
to talk to you, huh?
Always, Zeus. You're always bringing the truth, Zeus. Good job.
Yes, and you continue to bring it as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. We do our best, don't we?
Yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Shay. Bringing nothing but the truth. We stand for truth on this side of TikTok.
That's right.
All right, we must bring up our next guest. Oh my goodness. Brother Anthony, what brings you to the kingdom?
I just hit my bowl of truth, and since I was up this high, I thought I'd stop by and holler at Zeus, and up here on Mount Olympus, see how he's doing.
Oh, I am doing quite well. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Laughing at getting a good laugh at all these MAGA supporters. That's all.
Oh, why? What makes them humorous?
Because it's amazing that everybody feels so inclined to take tape recorders and phones into meetings with these people, like they're expecting to get something that's going to be worthy of news later on.
Right.
You don't find that funny? You don't find that it's funny that, every time somebody has a meeting with these people that they feel so inclined as to record it?
I think it is funny because I think when they record it, they think that they're going to catch someone other than themselves, only to find out later on that they only set themselves up. That's what makes it funny. It's like we didn't have to plant that, a tape recorder in your bag or something to get you to confess. You're doing it for us.
Yeah. Now a lot of them are recording themselves. But a lot of times it's people that are in the rooms and on the other ends of phone calls that are recording these people. Like they already know they're gonna get something good from these people. Every time.
Because they know they're dealing with criminals.
That's the point I'm making.
Do you think, ask yourself, brother, if you're in a room, you're in a meeting, and Donald Trump has summoned you to come in a meeting, would you bring a tape recorder?
Hell yeah. Shoot yeah. My fault, Sue. Shoot yeah.
We're bringing a tape recorder.
Every time. Because you're going to get something good from these people.
Yeah, or at least try to protect yourself, because somewhere down the road, things are going to happen. And
it's going to go bad. It's going to go bad.
Yeah.
Criminals are going to criminal.
Yeah. Look at what happened on Fox News with Tucker Carlson. Not only was he out here creating content, but behind the scenes, you had employees at Fox creating content with Tucker Carlson that is now coming out. And boy, oh boy, is it good.
Yes. The fact that they still Tucker told these people he lied, and they told Tucker no, he didn't. Come on, Zeus. You can't make this up, man.
You can't.
They told Tucker no, you didn't.
You told the truth, Tucker. I mean, at what point do we just say it's enough? It's over.
I don't know, but like I said, I just took a hit from my bowl of truth, and I just wanted to come up here and share a little bit with my friend Zeus.
Oh, I appreciate that, Brother Anthony. You know, you keep on getting that bowl of truth, okay? And I will continue to bring the daily dose of truth out here on TikTok, okay? Because I understand what is at stake, okay?
Yeah, and like I say before I leave every live that I'm in, we have to acknowledge that MAGA is the Confederacy, and we have to treat them as such. We have to treat them accordingly. And
Wait a second.
the thing.
What about the Russian twist?
I mean, you know, everybody loves a little Russian tea every now and then, but we don't have to side with them because we like their tea.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, but we got a whole 35 to 40% of this country, just like you said, that are Russian sympathizers.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting.
I'm going to get on up out of here. And again, MAGA is the Confederacy, and we need to treat them accordingly.
Hey, you heard
Have a good one,
Brother Anthony. Fair enough. Thank you so much, Brother Anthony. See, you know, we are getting closer and closer to the end of the lies and misinformation, ladies and gentlemen, because as you can tell, these lives have been setting the captive free day in and day out. Good morning, Angela. How are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I am doing just well. So nice to see you again. I heard you were partying yesterday on TikTok again.
I was just a little at 3:30, but I got up. I set my alarm so I could be here as well. I needed I needed a dose of truth. I have to admit, last night was a little wild, so I'd come here and I'll behave here.
You're fine.
I just had a couple quick things to say. I'm glad that you brought up Bernie Sanders this morning. I'm glad you brought him up because he really needs to be recognized as someone. He stepped aside for the good of the party. He said he wanted to step aside and so we could just all unite behind Joe Biden, President Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, who's doing such an amazing job.
He has far succeeded what I thought. I'm so impressed. But Bernie is stepping aside. We need to unite behind President Joe Biden. And as far as Ted Cruz, okay, I don't really have a whole lot to say about
him. Ted?
He got all fired up when Ari Melber, he's a favorite right behind you, Zeus, Ari Melber, when he outed Ted Cruz. Look at him. Look at that face. Why you got to do that? It's a jump scare. Yeah. Anyway, so he went right to Twitter and he claimed that everything he said was already out there. And he already said on national TV, but he didn't. That's another lie, lying Ted. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This man, okay, Trump told this man his wife was ugly. Right on national television.
He did. I remember.
Do you remember? I mean, that's shameful, right?
Yeah.
Right there. And every time I see his face, look at it. I tell my husband, I said, if you ever say that, let a man say that, I got a shovel. And he's done. He would be done. What kind of man does that?
A weak one, a terrified one who has potentially been compromised. Okay.
I think so. I think maybe Trump has something on him, but he just let that man say his wife was ugly, and that that's really all I have to say this morning. I'm very disgusted with that. And I just wanted to recognize Bernie Sanders. See, I'm from Vermont. So, yeah, I need to, he's represented us well.
Shout out to Bernie Sanders.
Shout out. I'm so glad that you brought him up because he deserves this recognition.
I only bring the truth, Angela. You know that. Okay.
And he needs that recognition. That
he does.
Stepped aside.
Just like President Biden needs to be recognized for his excellent leadership.
Excellent. He's one of the best presidents of my time.
Woo!
He is one of the best ever. And Bernie's just going to step aside and let Joe do his work.
Do his job. The job needs to be finished.
Yes, that's what he said. Finish what he started, and he is off to a great start.
Finish the job, ladies and gentlemen. Join us. Exactly. To those out there who are still listening, please join us in encouraging President Biden to finish the job. Okay.
He's going to finish the job.
Yeah.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it, Zeus.
I agree with you.
2024. Trump he doesn't stand a chance.
Nope.
Doesn't stand a chance. We have to talk about real quick too, the independents, okay? They're going to vote. They're going to vote for President Joe Biden. I saw it in a poll. They don't want anything to do with Trump. 70% of them have already said in the polls that they will be voting for President Joe Biden. So, and they really make up a lot of this vote.
Yeah.
So we have them.
And it's going to be worse because, there's the people out here who aren't taking the polls, but they're going to come in and, like on TikTok, they say it's sniping. There's a lot of snipers out here that are going to come in at the last second and throw Biden right back into the White House. No, we will not allow Trump a criminal. No. That's what this vote is going to be about, ladies and gentlemen.
He's going to have too many indictments to deal with. Way too many indictments to deal with, too. Nobody wants a man that's being indicted all over the eastern part of this country. You got Florida, you got D.C., you got New York, you got Georgia. He's in trouble all over the eastern side of this country. He's got his indictments to deal with. So he's done.
He's done.
He's done.
I agree.
So we're going to elect President Joe Biden again to finish the work. Finish
the job.
That's right. All right. Now I got to go and take a nap because it was a late night. Okay.
All right.
Late night. So I'm going to go take my nap and you keep telling the truth in here. All right.
Will do. Angela, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to tell the truth on the Mount Olympus.
Yes. You have a fabulous Wednesday.
All right. You too. Ladies and gentlemen. We have once again reached that moment in time where Zeus must depart, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for me to leave and let you all get back to the wonderful work that you have been doing. Stay safe out here on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen, and take care.
Truth always. The most handsome in the kingdom.
Have a great morning!
Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm grooving like Zeus. You thinking that you're cool till I pull up like Zeus. Thunder in the sky like you look like Zeus. I'm making phone rules on the God, call me Zeus. I'm higher than the eagle, I got red on me too. Took a long time to get here and I'm feeling brand new. If you living like a bum, get away from me, fool. I got money on my mind. I can't hang around with you. You fall in love too quick. You a high risk. Just fall in the mix. I put a bounty on your head. This is way above the feds. When you're playing with the gods and you're playing with the dead. Time to let loose with the truth. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with the I know you ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Player hating on the gods. Such a bitch. Tried to be patient, but you had to light my fuse. I'm catching all these snakes like a mongoose. These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus.
Good day.
Fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm moving like Zeus. You thinking that you're cool till I pull up like Zeus. Thunder in the
Tell her,
sky
Angela.
like Zeus. I make my
Tell
own
him,
rules.
Greg.
I'm a god, call me Zeus. I'm hotter than Hades and I'm burning down the roof. You say you wanted facts, well, I'm living proof. I've been waiting for this moment now. I gotta choose. If you play around with love, then you guaranteed to lose. I didn't make the game a rule, so don't play me like a fool. If you can't swim, don't be in the pool. Even though I'm hot, people telling me be cool. I'm just sitting on my throne while you looking like a goof. Time to let loose with the truth. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Playing hating on the gods, boy, you such a douche.
Yes, MAGA, be good.
But you had to like a fuse.
Heaven. Heaven, no.
Love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome, that's why they call me Zeus. This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like
Not
Zeus.
funny,
This is how I stare when I'm looking like Zeus. I like to act a fool when I'm moving like Zeus. Don't be playing with my mood when I'm moving like Zeus. You thinking that you're cool,
Drew,
so I
cut
pull
it
up like
out.
Zeus. Thunder in the sky like you up like Zeus. I make my own rules, I'm a god, call me Zeus.
Yeah, you know about me. I like to get wild.
Boo to the Lakers.
Guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm breaking down the rules in the heat.
No Lakers. Sound mind on the beat.
Kicking hard like Bruce. Lawrence Reed on the beat. Better call it truth, ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen. I can dance and box in the jungle like a kangaroo. Don't get caught flipping the woods or you'll be dead like a roof.
Lindsay on the beat like Zeus. Ethan Love on the beat like Zeus. RMC on the beat. Yeah, you heard about me. I see you.
Take care,
Tina, I see
ladies
you.
and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, ladies, it's me.
Wait a second.
It's
I
Zeus.
love my Lakers.
God,
Just like LeBron. Time out.
my charm.
Time out. Time out. Time out. 1
Been
second.
up too close.
1 second.
Come on the bed.
1 second. I gotta address this. I gotta address this Lakers stuff that's going on. The reason why we do not support the Lakers is because of the amount of trash talking that they did when LeBron James was just getting started in the league. You talk so much trash about him. You got mad when he decided to take his talents to South Beach and go play with Dwayne Wade. Do you remember? I remember. Okay? You weren't supporting LeBron at all. The Lakers, they had no hope. Then LeBron goes back to Cleveland. You still just, he's never be as good as Jordan. He'll never be as good as Jordan. Then the ultimate act of treason. LeBron decided to become a Laker. And all of a sudden, now you're okay with him? Shame! We do not support such behavior and conduct in the kingdom. Now I gotta go.